Hey, it's your boy Tony G with KHAM Radio every Tuesday night. Tony G and Big Lou on KHAM Radio, the sports book. Make sure you hit us up on our Facebook page, KHAM Radio, and we have the sports book Facebook page. Lou, what's been going on with you, brother?
And everything's been going well. Show number 2, I'm back. I'm here for good. Training on the outside of what we do is going great. So everything is rolling off cylinders. Football's back. Smell the pigskin. Now we got to do is wait on the weather. But football is back. And all you people out there on NCAA 25, I am coming for you. Be on the lookout.
Oh, there you go. That's so. Let me ask you this: So you watched the Hall of Fame game? I watched the Hall of Fame game. I don't really expect a lot out of the Hall of Fame game.
Right.
I mean, it's preseason. There ain't really a whole lot. You're not trying to get anyone hurt.
Right.
And it's just like a test and tune. It's not really it's not really something you can. Whatever. It was good to watch the football and the inductees. Yeah. Let's go through the inductees.
Okay. For the Hall of Fame inductees for 2024, we had San Francisco 49er Patrick Willis. We also had Randy Gradishar. Dwight Freeney made it to the Hall this year. Also, punt returner extraordinaire Devin Hester, punt returner and wide receiver. Houston Texans wide receiver Andre Johnson, very slept on wide receiver. Julius Peppers made it this year. He's deserving. And also we have Steve McMichael. So those are your Hall of Fame inductees. I was surprised that Caleb Williams didn't see the film, but I understand why you don't want to get your number one hurt. But it would have been good for him to get some reps, I thought.
At least one set of downs.
Right.
I would have been one set of downs.
Because he's going to have to get a feel for the speed of it and how the NFL works, So I was kind of, I'm not going to say disappointed. I was just surprised that he didn't get any playing time.
Yeah, and I think that was by design. I definitely don't. That was by design. Just like CJ Stroud didn't see any time.
Right.
They're saving him. I get it. Get him some reps maybe in game 3. Everybody's trying to save, for the injuries, but at the same time, they got to catch some real live action. And I really think that we're going to see a lot of great things out of Houston this year. I think that's one of the teams that I'm really not expecting a bunch out of Chicago, but out of Houston, though, I can see where we're. Yeah. Period. We can see out of Houston that I think Houston is going to be that team. Going to be probably in the 10-7, 11-6 record, which I think is probably pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which would be very good.
Right. It's like they're going up. They're ascending, and that's where you want to go when you got a dynamic quarterback like that. And now with Stephon Diggs, they're going to be a problem in the AFC. They're going to be a problem.
And so, what's your expectations on Chicago? Because I'll tell you mine after you tell me yours.
Okay. With Chicago, I don't have that much expectation for them. I do believe they could be a 500 team, or maybe a couple of games above 500, because you got Green Bay running on all cylinders. Detroit is just a couple of plays away from being a real NFC champion team.
Right.
And the only ones they really got to worry about is Minnesota, but with Justin Jefferson there, and they still got key elements to where I believe right now people are saying that Chicago may be better, but I think Minnesota still got a little talent now. They may be there's not been a lot of talk about JJ McCarthy, if I'm saying it right. I hadn't heard a lot about what's going on with him up there, but I think they have more weapons and more talent than Chicago does. But if they don't have their quarterback play, then I think I don't see them as a problem in their division, but I can see them as an above 500 team.
So I see them as like maybe 8-9, 9-8. I can see them at that, but I don't see
Hmm.
them being a. I think they're still lacking. It's going to take a lot for. It's going to take a lot to convince me that that organization is truly serious about winning, and I feel the
Right.
same about. I feel the same about Cincinnati, and I know people think I'm crazy because you Cincinnati, you got other than Joe Burrow, you have to show me that you're in it for the long haul with other
Hmm.
players. It's not just about Joe Burrow. You can sign Joe
Right.
Burrow, but you're going to have to lock down a lot of pieces, and you're going to have to be very
Yeah.
creative with the payroll. And so, to me, that's what shows me that you're serious about a long term success. Like when you look at Kansas City, I see them. They've been serious for the last 6 years about making deals happen, fitting
Hmm.
in the payroll, just doing all kind of stuff.
Right.
But and I haven't seen that with those two, and we'll see. Maybe this year is the year they get serious about it and they can move forward. But again, it's all about one thing that you realize is that there's some organizations that are just there to suck up the money. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because you're still making money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you look at like Major League Baseball, number one team that spends the most money is the Mets, and then it's the Yankees, and then it goes
Absolutely.
further down. So that being said, um, sometimes it's just not. I mean, it's a really weird setup. It ain't about whoever spends the most because it's you got to be able to manage the players that you have,
Right.
get them to buy into. You have to do the whole New England Patriot thing. Get them
Hmm.
to buy into the program. Show them that we're going to win Super Bowls. And I think right now, Kansas City is the new New England. Like
Absolutely.
especially especially if they repeat. If
Hmm.
they repeat, you just got to go. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
how could you not?
They,
How could you not buy into the program?
right. And just like New England, they are willing to get rid of big players and still maintain their winning culture. Like they let Tyreek Hill walk, and they still stayed above and atop the AFC, and they got two rings to prove it. So you know, and I love Tyreek. He's a dynamic receiver. He's got his money in Miami, but for them, like I said last week, last year was the best year to dethrone them, and and still could do it. So they're
The one, two,
I don't see that. I can see a three-peat. I can see a three-peat.
definitely doable. I think last year when you saw their record, and then when you saw them turn it on into the playoffs, I think that's. I mean, I think it's. I think it's. I mean, I think it says volumes about them as a team when when it's time to. Um, I mean, it's just it says volumes about them, just
Right.
them doing their. I mean, they
Doing their thing.
really at the end of
And
the
not
year, yeah,
right. And I was
10,
about to say,
10 to
not
7.
only, yeah, not only did they lose Tyreek Hill, they lost their main OC. And he went, and he went to another team and they
Right.
still still kept it going. Still kept it going.
With no name wide receivers. Got a lot of slack over them.
Hmm.
They were struggling in the regular season. A lot of people thought it was done and over with, and then
Right.
they came alive in the playoffs, and that's it. You know what I mean? I mean, they won
Lights
another
out.
Super Bowl. Lights out. I mean, everything they they broke all the rules last year. You know what I mean? They didn't win the most
Hmm.
games. I mean, whatever you want to say, they did. They did. They did over and beyond. When it came to the playoffs, the switch turned on, and now it's
Hmm.
like this is why we're great. Um,
Right.
anything going on with the Saints?
In Saints news, they are getting rave reviews in training camp with Chase Young. You know, I was destroying him last season about him not showing up. I guess he had to heal a little bit more, but he's getting a lot of praise in training camp right now. They inducted four-time All-Pro Jabari Evans into their Saints Ring of Honor,
Yep,
and
I saw that.
yep, and Alvin Kamara says that he's not holding out. He plans on being a Saint for life. So they're going to get something done with him, you know, to make sure uh, that happens. And that's pretty much the top news. Honey Badger says that you know the defense is going to make a step up from last season. But what I want to hear is some quarterback news because you know I haven't heard Derek Carr chime in too much. He's been quiet, so I guess he's focused in on trying to lock down the offense. But the one thing I did hear is that Spencer Rattler, the quarterback they signed from South Carolina, that he's showing good signs as well. Yep, because they
Now,
let James Winston go. He's up in Cleveland now. So yeah,
so the
so that's
yeah, so the other thing is when we go back to the Cowboys situation, we still
mhm,
have no Dak sign, and we have no CeeDee Lamb, right?
right. CeeDee Lamb still holding out. Uh, Dak's commenting that the money's there, like the money's there to pay me. So and he's preparing for this to be his last season. It seems like to me that and someone made this comment earlier. It's like the all of the other teams in the NFL are moving to the new wave, and the Cowboys are still stuck on gonna make good draft picks, make it work out, and it's not. Trey Lance is struggling with the with their offensive system,
Right.
and I find that surprising because he was there last season, but he's struggling with the system. I don't see a future. I thought that the 49ers spent too much for him in the first place. I would have liked to see him play more college football and learn the game as opposed to, running and making plays yourself. Learn how to be a quarterback, how to read defenses. If they instead of escaping defenses, learn how to read them. So when you walk up to the line of scrimmage, you can, quickly. You had to figure all this out, what the linebackers doing, what the corners doing, who's pressing. All that has to go through your head as you're walking up to the center. And not only that, but actually learn the plays that they're trying to teach you. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that guy. I'm not going to say bust. That's beyond me. But I'm just going to say that is going to be a learning. That's going to have to take some teaching if for him to be competitive in this sport. And it's just getting faster and faster every season.
Yeah, I think in time he'll be okay. I think it's just
Hmm.
going to take a little bit. I think one of the biggest things is that a lot of these teams are putting these. I understand that CJ Stroud had a great year last year, right? But it still was his first year. Things worked
Yeah.
out. I mean, you still got to have some toolage, some
Hmm.
training, some time.
Right.
I mean, it takes a little time. I mean,
Right.
Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl in his rookie year, never went back.
Right. Never went back because now teams have tape, and teams have tape on CJ Stroud now, but he has Stephon Diggs. So along with the other talent that he has on their team, so now he has options. Even though the other teams have tape on him, now he has a dynamic weapon. Not to take anything from any of the receivers they have there now, but now they have a dynamic, and that's all you need is a dynamic player, a veteran that can even teach the other receivers little tricks and plays of the game that'll make them even better. And he had that, so kudos to him.
Yeah,
Kudos to CJ
absolutely.
Stroud.
Yeah, I'm definitely moving in the right direction. They, like I said, they're going to be a force commit. I mean, as long as the injuries and all that stays in the
Hmm.
realm where it ain't too bad, I think they're going to have a great season. Um, I think I think them. There's a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, you got Pittsburgh. We're going to see what's going to go on with Wilson,
Right.
and the quarterback situation there. We got the Bills. We got Miami. I really think
Mhm.
Miami's on the downward slide. I think they're having
I,
problems with the whole contract situation. Um,
right. And even though
you know,
they signed Tua and Tyreek long term, it's gonna take more
that
than
was a
Tua
lot.
and Tyreek. That was a lot of money for
That's
two players. So
that was, and the thing is with Tua. I mean, we have seen him. He's not the most durable guy.
right.
He's not. I mean, it's
And
just nothing against. Give her one on me. Yeah. Okay. Um.
yeah,
So um. So that being said, I mean, what is he? 5'8", 5'9"?
5'8", 5'9". We'll just give him 5'9". And
And
and,
that's not being
and I know
disrespectful.
no, but I
No,
know that they're giving Tyreek. Tyreek is getting money off the back end of the contract. They're giving it to him up front. You know what I'm saying? Which is a good
right.
idea. Everybody's taking that from Mahomes. Take a little bit off that back end, give it to him now. Keep him happy, but still have enough to keep the weapons around. But
Yes, and
I
that's
just
that's going
need
to
to
be the
see it.
key.
Hmm.
Yeah, to keep the. And that's the other thing is keeping the weapons around him, and I think that's
Yeah, they need to go
uh
practice in the cold. Miami needs to go and they need to train
practicing.
in cold weather because that's their Achilles heel, cold weather. And in the
And it,
AFC, most AFC games are cold and outside, especially the
later in the
AFC. Right.
later in the season. In the beginning of the
Hmm.
season, it's their
Yeah.
advantage.
Right. Because all of the cold weather teams, that humidity, and Miami
Yeah,
humidity is something else. But unfortunately, that game they play, it gets cold. And when it matters, it's cold. So,
it is gold. You're better because
mhm.
you gotta like Buffalo will come to you. Buffalo, New England will all come to you in September, but you got to come to Buffalo, New England in December,
Woo,
and that's when it matters. Yes, and
man,
it's bone chilling. You know what I mean? It's
yes,
really you got to really
yes,
be
it's an experience. You have to really be built from those regions to handle that. It's a different
yeah,
animal, ladies and gentlemen. So
especially
if you
if they have a game. If they got a game and think about it, if they got a game in Green Bay, Kansas City, you know what I mean? All those AFC, even the
yeah,
Titans, even Tennessee gets gold.
he gets cold up there time to time. So yeah,
So
so
it's
they
definitely
yeah. I mean, even if they inside, turn all the ACs down to 30, 40 degrees and let them, and it's not going to be the same as when they're outside, but give them a chance or a taste to see what it's like when you have to, mentally drive through that. You have to mentally block that.
right. That's true. I mean, that's what it's all about is just taking advantage. And I think that's, one thing about Kansas City last year. After looking back at the season, you start looking, and I think there was points where Kansas City was cruising, You know what I mean? Like they were picking and choosing the areas that they were gonna. You know what I mean? Like it was just kind of weird the season that they had because it wasn't a great season, but all
Right.
of a sudden, like I said, when they got to the playoffs, it just clicked, and it was like, oh, wait a minute, these guys. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like they knew and nobody else knew, and so and then it
Right.
became a game, um, which is fine. That's how the NFL works. I mean, Green Bay is going to be tough. I mean, there's a lot of provided injuries. Green Bay, San Francisco. I think the Saints. I think if Carr can work together with the team this year, I think last year. I don't know. I looked at him and I thought I don't know if he was really working well with the team.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It
Like they
seems,
were.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
like there's a
like he was.
disconnect.
Yes, there was a disconnect. And so that being said, you go, huh? Well, he wasn't. They weren't rallying around him. So I think if
Right.
he can get them to rally around him, um, that could be huge. Um, Tampa, I don't see a lot. I mean, maybe a little bit of 8-9, maybe nine,
Yeah.
maybe 9-8. Um, I think that could be. I Cleveland. I think Cleveland's at the end of their rope. I think the money's going to start hitting,
Hmm.
and they're not going to be able.
Yeah.
I need security. Somebody call security. I got a crazy. I'm ready for you. Okay. So anyway, back to camp. Um, but yeah, I think them. It'll be interesting to see what Cincinnati makes happen this year. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he had so much success early, and like I said, the competition is really tough in the AFC,
Hmm.
NFC. I see, I see Dallas. I see Dallas winning more games. I see Dallas winning 12 games this year, but I see them losing in the playoff. I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh man, you're just being a hater." I'm just being honest. I see Philly
No.
being there, San
Yeah.
Francisco being there. Um,
Yeah.
you
They can
know,
call us
I
Dallas
want to
haters,
see
but
what the Ravens
yeah,
are going to do with
yeah.
stats or stats.
They can call us
That's
haters
all
all
you
they
can mean.
want,
That's
Tony, but yeah, they can call us haters all they want, Tony, but they watch the same TV we watch, and they've seen every team in the NFC get better, but the Cowboys,
this
Detroit's
is true.
better.
This is
San
very,
Francisco's
very
still
true.
there. Philly got better. They got a running game, so they don't have to rely on the tush pushes for the running back now, as opposed for the quarterback. He doesn't have to get the first
Right,
downs now. And then they got,
right,
and then Saquon Barkley can catch in the backfield. So
right.
Philly's got a little better. Uh, Washington has a quarterback. It's going to take a little time, but because he's a little small, but I think they're gonna do a little better. But and the only team that they really don't have to worry about is New York. Because the Giants still have Daniel Jones. They don't have Saquon now. So is it worth it? Is the value there? You have some people that still believe
Well,
that he can do it. I'm not one of them. I'm not saying
no.
that you get rid of him, but I don't think that he's working well with that system.
Well, you got to eat
Or
the money. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You got to eat the money. He's got another
right.
year. He got one more year of eating the money, and that's just kind of how it is. You make bad decisions, and you're eating. I mean, and I think Cleveland this year, if Cleveland doesn't do anything, they're going to realize, like, wow, just like Denver. How long is Denver going to have to pay Wilson? A long time. Um,
Yes,
but that being said, it's just how are we looking on time?
5.5. We got 5.5 minutes.
5.5.
So
That
yes.
he is. But just tell him. Just check. Oh, 5.5. All right. Well, that's cool. I was just checking up on the time. So, oh, so the thing is we'll see this year if Cleveland's going to get. At this point, they're going to have to be like, what are we doing with all this money that we spent? We're
Right.
either going to have to dump it, um, regroup it, because you can't, you can't. I mean, at some point you got to go, hey, we're not getting our RIO, return on investment, for the money that we spent.
Right. Especially
And
with the
they're, I
quarterback.
mean, yeah, that's it. That's where they spend all the money. Is they had a bunch of great players, but now they're getting to the point where they're going to have to play. You're going to have to pay some more, and that ate up so much of you're working tomorrow. I don't like it. So they're set up so much. They ate up so much of their gross salary that, I mean, you only can do what you can do. At the end of the day, you can only do what you can do. I mean, you've eaten the majority of the pie with a quarterback that is not delivering, and that's just kind of what it is. So I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. And I want to send a shout out to my guys over there at SI Motorsports over there on the Benton Road, right there by Posadas, right there at the beginning. Go over there, see Wes and Ripple. Tell them Tony G and Big Lou sent them. And like I said, if you have a business that you want to be spotlighted on the Sportsbook Spotlight, hit us up. We got a Sportsbook page. We got a KM radio page. Call the radio station. Do whatever you need to do. Hit us up. We would love to talk about you guys. Spotlight you guys on the deal. Remember, we are on every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, Tony G, Big Lou. And like I said, if you have any events or any kind of business spotlight, let us know. We would love to do either a business spotlight, or if you got an event, or you got a league or baseball, football, whatever, just hit us up. We'd love to talk about it. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. We got the first regular season game. It's September 5th. Big. We got some preseason coming up. We got college. First day of college is going to be LSU in Las Vegas. So that's going to be a huge event. You got anything else to close out the show, Lou?
Yes. Make sure y'all hit us up on our platforms. Make sure you email us. It's right down here. That's the Sportsbook PGBL@gmail.com. If you have a sports league, if your son, daughter, whoever plays sports, anything, just hit us up, email us, contact us. You can contact us at KHAM too. We want to show support for you. We do this for you guys. We love sports, and we would love to bring light to local sports right here in this area. Bring you on the show. Let's talk about it. So make sure y'all email us if y'all got business, especially any sports leagues, regardless of what the sport is. Make sure y'all hit us up, email us. We want to get you on the show. We want you to talk about it, bring awareness to it, so that we can get you the support that you need.
That's it, Lou. Every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on the Sportsbook. Hit Tony G or Big Lou up on our Facebook page, our Facebook page for Sportsbook or for KM Radio. All right, man. I guess we're gonna tune out. Have a good night. Tune in every Tuesday night. Big Lou, good to have you back. We'll see you next week, right here on KM Radio.
Where we go ham.